Blockchain is very smart. I have to admit that I invested in it early on, and the reason I invested in it was the amount of different uses it could be put to. I've read Hernando de Soto's books. Hernando de Soto argues that unless you can actually have interest in your home, it's very difficult for you to start a business or have any wealth created. Blockchain have gone to presidents of Egypt and other countries and said, we could register every single house in your country. The 90% of the houses that the people don't actually own, they just built the houses on random bits of land. We can give them home ownership, and you can then create a revolution of businesses and people being able to start businesses from scratch.
So when you look at blockchain actually gives rise to doing business in a very decentralized way. I think for the first time in history, we can really big businesses in a collaborative way with people that maybe never even meet each other. Now, you're all about business and having fun and letting people wear what they want to work. How do you think that businesses will work when sometimes the operators of the business never meet face to face?
I think it'll make businesses more efficient. Fortunately, I think airlines are still going to be needed, and that people are going to need to sort of jump on a plane and actually come and socialise with each other as well. But at least they know in the background that blockchain is doing the job in an efficient way.
Are you guys investigating the blockchain and trying to apply it in your businesses?
I think different virgin businesses are looking at it in different ways, and so they should be. We have Virgin Money, which is a bank in the UK. They're definitely looking at blockchain and in discussions to see how they can use it. But we also, we also invest in cyber currencies as well. So, we're investors in Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of those other currencies.
So you were interviewed on Bloomberg a while back, and at the time you spoke about how positive you were about Bitcoin and how well it's working. Do you believe that Bitcoin is working as a currency, or do you believe Bitcoin is more a store of value? I
think for some people Bitcoin's used as a currency. For others, it's just a place where they can tuck away some of their net worth. In the same way they might tuck it away in gold or silver. In the last few years, they would have done a lot better to have tucked it away in Bitcoin, but we'll have to see what happens in the years to come.
What is your prediction about what happens in these crypto or in this Bitcoin and Ethereum market? At the moment, they're not regulated, and so most governments don't recognize them as currencies and commodities. Do you think that, you've threatened big corporations before, but do you think that Bitcoin and Ethereum threaten governments, and how do you think governments are going to respond?
I don't think Bitcoin and Ethereum threaten governments any more than cash threatens governments or credit cards threatens governments. I mean, it's a different form of currency, and I think sensible governments should welcome it, and sensible governments, I think, do welcome it. I mean, when America confiscated some bitcoins from somebody, they immediately cashed them in and took the cash. They didn't confiscate them and destroy them. So I think these currencies have now generally been accepted by governments.
Yeah, they probably should have held on to the bitcoins and not sold them so quickly. They'd probably be worth a lot more today.
In the same way that Gordon Brown, when he sold Britain's gold, should have held on to that as well. So. But I think, you're right. The American government lost a lot of money by cashing it in and not holding on to it.
So you spoke earlier about entrepreneurship, and you've spoken earlier about giving people loans may be the best start to start entrepreneurships. Now, no doubt you're familiar with the ICO mechanism or the crowdfunding mechanism for raising capital. Do you not think that's maybe a better way of raising capital than asking for loans or asking governments to create loans? You've opened yourself up to a whole world of potential investors through issuing tokens on your business.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent idea, an excellent way of people getting loans if they can, persuade the crowd to invest in whatever they're doing, and I think should be encouraged. And obviously, people who put money into these things have to accept that they may lose it as well as makes the money. But but I think it's a really good way forward.
Are you investing in any other cryptocurrencies as a group, or any other blockchain-related ventures?
The thing with Virgin is it's involved in so many different businesses. I'm not quite sure what everybody's doing these days. But all I can say in the big picture of things is I'm a great believer in blockchain and actually Bitcoin. And I think there are absolute geniuses behind these products. I wish the real guy that invented Bitcoin would step forward and be interviewed. I mean, or anyway, I would urge him when on his deathbed to at least leave behind a book about how his brain works, because he's an absolute genius. And
well, now that I've interviewed Richard Branson, I mean, it will only make sense that he comes next, because that's the last guy left.
Wherever you are, whoever you are, come along and be interviewed. But it's just mind-boggling what he achieved.